Evening, folks, and welcome back to The View for the match day preview for Arsenal versus Leeds United. Leeds' first trip on the road down to London, which hasn't been a healthy stomping ground for Leeds over a very long period of time. We'll get into that tonight. Delighted to be joined by Andrew Stats Dalton. But just to let everyone know, this is a pre-recorded live stream because I'm currently en route to Galway. My wife is gigging there tonight, and I'm going away for a couple of days as well. The news will still be out tomorrow, slightly different location, but the news will still be there. And we're still just working on the final bits and pieces around the watch-along for Saturday evening as well, but I'll get you some details on that before then, likely tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, delighted to be joined by Andrew Stats Dalton. We are doing this ahead of Daniel Farke's press conference, so we are giving you the team news as we know it, and likely anything else that comes out of the press conference today, you'll pick that up yourselves anyway over Twitter as well, and keep an eye on Andrew Stats Dalton's X feed as well if you want some statistics leading into the game as well. Right, first things first, Andrew Stats Dalton, how are you doing, mate? And were you happy with the result at the weekend Monday night?
Monday night, yeah, wow. What a start to the season, Jay. We took the game to Everton. I thought was the best 45 minutes I've seen in a very long time at that level. Obviously, we bossed the championship the previous season, and to come out and play like we played in the first half was superb, and we really took the game to Everton, and they didn't have too many chances. I don't remember Perry making too many saves really in the first half, and then second half Everton looked like they came out, had a bit of a telling off from David Moyes at half time, and then he makes the changes, does Daniel Farke, and one of the subs, Lucas Nemecha, gets the penalty. Was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? I don't really care. We're going to get some for us, going to get some against us, as we discussed over the week. It is what it is, unfortunately. That's what VAR are there for. I think Tarkowski does lead into the ball, so I can see why they've given it. Had it been against Leeds, I probably would have been disappointed. But that's where the cookie crumbles, and it's an excellent start to the season. It just alleviates a little bit of the pressure that we had going into the game, because people were saying if we lose that game, it then suddenly becomes a really difficult start to the season with Arsenal coming up on at the weekend. But as it is, we've got 3 points. It's an important 3 points. It's a real step in the right direction, and we probably need 9 more wins to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, let's hope we get them. At least we've chalked one out of the way as well. I thought Benjamin Bloom's explanation of why it was a penalty was excellent, by the way. Yes. If you wanted to know why, the basic gist of this was there's 2 things they were looking for in that handball decision. One, was the hand in an unnatural position? It wasn't. No. The second one, is it a deliberate handball or not? And the fact that Tarkowski's movement is towards the ball, it's seen as a deliberate action and a deliberate handball. And the reason that VAR don't get involved is they work on a percentage basis. And it was like 60-40, as Ben says, in favour of being a deliberate handball. Therefore, it's not a clear and obvious error. Therefore, VAR stays with the referee's decision on the field. So that's why it was given. I think everyone has said, what's he supposed to do with his hand? It's not about his hand. It's about the movement of his entire body towards the ball. If he doesn't do that, the keeper probably saves it and there's no pressure on them at all. But he does. He moves in, and a fantastic penalty by Lucas Nemecha to get him off the mark. And Stats, I thought he was very good when he came on.
I thought all the subs were, to be honest with you. Even Jack Harrison, when he came on, I know he's kind of a bit Marmite-ish, Jack, isn't he? That he splits opinion. Obviously been on Everton for the last couple of seasons. But yeah, they all
for the sack shot.
Absolutely. And I feel that they all played the part on Monday night, and it's a great win to boost the confidence of the club. And it kind of feels like the pressure's taken off us a little bit going into the game against Arsenal, because these are the games that no one really does expect us to win, in all honesty. Because Arsenal finished second last season. They've brought in Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. It sounds like Eze will join from Crystal Palace, where they'll be in time for the Leeds game. It remains to be seen, because I think he's got signed by midday tomorrow. So, yeah, this is a bit... I don't like using the term free hit, but it is a free hit, isn't it, to be honest with you? Because anything we get out of this game on Saturday tea time is a bonus. So, yeah, very much looking forward to it. I'm intrigued to see how we line up, and we'll talk about that shortly. Yeah. But it's not a game that I'm sure anyone is expecting us to go and take the game to Arsenal. It could be a different game than we had on Monday night.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a couple of seconds. Team news-wise, we can give you some updates on the Arsenal team news, as they're the home side. We'll start with them first. Kai Havertz is out and is expected to have an extended period of time on the sideline. So if he's in your fantasy football team, you want to get him out before Friday night's game kicks off. Gyökeres is a doubt for the game. He picked up a slight knock in training. It's a doubt. He's still likely to be playing some part in it, but he might not start the game. They've got other options there as well. And as Stats has said, Eze looks like he is signed and sealed for Arsenal. Now, whether he gets his medical and everything done and dusted before 12 p.m. tomorrow, that's the cutoff for registration, remains to be seen. And we'll all be crossing our fingers that he doesn't, because he's been very Leeds when he has played against us in the past. From a Leeds perspective, we are doing this before Daniel Farke's press conference, but from what we've heard, it's likely to be pretty much as is for Leeds. The only doubt going into it was Ethan Ampadu's knee. Bit of an update from Daniel Farke's press conference. I'm recording this bit slightly after we finished doing the video, but there is an update. Ethan Ampadu will be out until after the international break with an MCL injury. It did look like the knee popped in a very unusual and awkward direction in that tackle that did bruise the foot as well. Pretty healthy bruise there, but it a bit of a blow for Leeds, as Ethan Ampadu will now miss out until after the international break. Likely to see Sean Longstaff or potentially Ilya Gruev come into that midfield if they want slightly more defensive structure in there. Gruev was the option that was used off the bench by Daniel Farke when Ethan Ampadu did go off. He's the natural defensive midfielder replacement there, but they might look at moving out Tanaka back into that more defensive midfield area and bringing Sean Longstaff in if they want to add more tempo and a bit more energy in there. But it'll be an interesting one to see. Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Noah Okafor will be in contention. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has trained all week, but Daniel Farke said that he hasn't had competitive games, which we've already said ourselves. So therefore the pressure's off him a little bit, but said he is fit, he is healthy, he is sharp, and is a good character to have around the place. Okafor will be in contention for the game this weekend. He will train with Leeds United today for the very first time, but he has had competitive games and will likely come in.
I think Okafor will come in on the bench. It'll be interesting to see who he does replace. Probably does replace Laji Ramazani on the bench, who is a really interesting one at the moment because he's probably our fifth choice, really, isn't he? Alan Road. So there's not too much that really needs changing. We may see Calvert-Lewin potentially coming on the bench as well to add into the strike option. He's not really had a pre-season, as he is as Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he needs to kind of build up his fitness. Potentially he may start against Sheffield Wednesday on Tuesday evening, the Carabao Cup, which will probably give Daniel Farke a bit of a chance to rest his first 11, really, and I'll talk a bit more about that next week. So it's just great to have the options there that we've got, and the midfield is starting to build as one of the best midfields we've had, certainly at this level, for quite a wee while. So yeah, it's got everything, and it's a game I'm really looking forward to watching.
I saw Ben Locke do a breakdown after the game. I always enjoy watching Lockie's breakdowns because he's a sports analyst. He looks at the game very differently, very tactically, and I enjoy the extra level of detail that he goes into. But he even said it himself, it's probably the best midfield performance he's seen from Leeds United in his era of watching football. I mean, definitely since Leeds fell out of the Premier League, 19, 20 years ago now. Yeah. Definitely since that period of time, since the core baddie in that midfield area as well. So yeah, very, very good. The other question mark, Stats, is I don't actually know if it's a question at all, because they were so good. Does everyone keep their shirt? Your shirt is yours to lose. I suppose we've got a decent squad. Yakubial is available. He'll come back onto the bench. This squad is getting bigger and bigger by the week. Yeah, so Yakubial has to come back onto the bench. Someone else is going to have to drop off that bench now. Does Bial come into the starting 11 for you, or did Pascal Struijk, who, by the way, from his passing stats, 100% passing accuracy in the first half, he had great game by him alongside Joe Rodon. That familiarity, again, as Lockie pointed out, the familiarity of both of them coming in, they looked as cool as they did in the championship. Do you replace Struijk or Rodon with Bial, or does he have to just wait for his chance now?
God, it's another good question, isn't it? Personally, I put him back in, but it's who you drop, because it's very difficult to be very unfair on Rodon and Struijk. If you do drop one, if Joe Rodon does play, he'll make his 100th appearance for Leeds United on Saturday tea time. If you drop one, it's probably Struijk, and Struijk probably drops to the bench and probably replaces Burnau on the bench. But isn't it great to talk about all these options that we've got? We've not had that. Even in the Championship, we didn't really have that much depth. So, yeah, he might start on the bench again, and he might be another one that comes on and makes his debut against Sheffield Wednesday in the week at Hillsborough. But
that side against Sheffield Wednesday could have no Okafor, Yakubial, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin starting in it as well. So
absolutely. So yeah, it's just great to have the depth again. Bial has probably been in training this week. I think he might just keep it as is, really, and then just bring Bial in for the Sheffield Wednesday game, and then probably start him against Newcastle before the first international break. There's wonderful things that we all love to hate, an international break at the start of September.
It's the worst, isn't it? You just get into a rhythm of football.
Yeah,
you just went and enjoy yourself, and then 10 days without a game. Come on, lads. Yeah, I hate it. I do want to ask a question. There's the obvious question that people in the comments will be saying. I get the Larry Ramazani argument. I get that people want to have him in the team over Jack Harrison. I did see the merits of bringing Jack Harrison onto the pitch. And I say that as somebody who's been very clear about his position on Jack. There was a little bit more of a senior head needed at that moment in time rather than out and out, I suppose, tempo that largely gives you. Like, largely increases the tempo phenomenally. He's an aggressive player going forward. I think Leeds wanted a more calm, settled head in there, and that's probably why Jackie came in. But I'm very much a badge on the front of the shirt and not a name on the back of the jersey, so I'm not going to fall out with the club if they decide to pick a different player. But there is a question now to be asked with Okafor coming into the side now and potentially two more. Demirovic being mentioned as a serious target for Leeds up front as well. Players are going to have to leave. And that's outside of Schmidt, Meslier, Bamford and Greenwood, who currently we're not even counting in that. I think we're 24 players now, 25 can be registered. So someone's going to leave between now and the end of the window. Do you see any surprises happening in stats, or do you think Leeds will just try and go with a rotational option? Or somebody has suggested to me, do you take Alex Cairns out of that squad and replace him with Rory Mahady because he's an under-21 player, won't be in the bench, but still ticks a homegrown box?
It's interesting because someone posted on X this week the list of players that we did have, and I think it, as you rightly say, it supersedes the 25-man squad we can have in the Premier League. I think if anyone leaves, it might be largely Ramazani, because you kind of look at the wingers we've now got. We've got James, we've got Nonto, we've got Jack Harrison, we've got Okafor as well, and that kind of now leaves Large Ramazani is probably number fifth winger, and you can't fit them all in, and you can't keep everybody happy. And thankfully, it's not my choice to pick the team; it's up to Daniel Parker to pick the team. The only other one that I could possibly see, I saw a very loose link, was Pascal Strack was linked with Villarreal this week or last week.
I wouldn't take any notice of that link at all. From who it came from, if that person told me it was going to be sunny all day, I'd bring an umbrella.
You have to check outside. Yeah, so they might rotate, but the 25-man squad looks to have strength in depth, and that's the main thing. Yeah, Paddy, don't know what Paddy does, to be really honest with you. He might see out his contract towards the back end of the season and go on a free next year. Greenwood's certainly not involved. So Meslier, I think, will leave come September. I think it's September the 1st, the transfer window closes.
Yes.
And Schmidt just doesn't look to be anywhere near, to be honest with you. I know he played in the friendly against Milan, but it doesn't seem to really be in Daniel's plans. So I think, and I can't pronounce his name. The striker that we're linked with, Demar, that's the one. If he comes in, it then frees up someone else to possibly leave, which then you would think Ramazani would leave. I saw something this week that Joel Piroux had offers on the table this week, and I'm really pleased that he's staying put, because I think he could add something a bit different in the Premier League this season. So I think it's going to be a busy week. You get the Newcastle game out of the way next Saturday, another tea-time kickoff at Ellen Road. And then you've got a week of just sort of sorting the squad out ahead of the international break. And then I think then once you enter September, you know what you've got to deal with come January the 1st. But the main thing is adding the strength in depth, adding the right players to the strength in depth, and giving us a really good go. And from what I saw on Monday night, there's no reason why this team can't stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, Daniel Farker was a regular last season, the year before, complaining about the amount of players that were going away in international duty and the lack of players he had to work with coming back and only having 24 hours to prepare for a game. He'll now have to deal with a squad that pretty much every single one of his players will be going away on international duty, but then so will everybody else in the division. So he needs to deal with that. It'll be interesting to see how he handles that. But yeah, he'll have at least 10 days to think about it himself, about what his final squad is going to be look like. There could be some surprises towards the back end of the window. I always say when you get to the final week of the transfer window, crazy stuff can happen. The weirdest of decisions can be made. And you're in the Nottingham Forest bracket now, where if Leeds bring in 2 more players, that's an entire 11 they brought in to their side this summer, which means there's ruthless decisions will be needed on upgrading of positions. And have we got a better player than him now? Well, then he can go. Even though we might like these players and might rate them, there are some decisions that will need to be made. But that's, as you say, that's Daniel Farke's decision to make, and thankfully not our headache. But as long as this squad is being leveled up and upgraded, I think we have to be okay with that. As long as it's handled the right way and players are treated the right way, I'm okay with that. But so that's going into the game. The head-to-head record doesn't make great reading for Leeds United, although this is, in the caveat, a very different Leeds United side, a very different Leeds United club behind the scenes. But in our last 5 meetings with Arsenal. We have 5 straight defeats. A draw in this game would be a big result for Leeds. No one is expecting us to get anything from these next 2 games. But again, if you go back to what's been said already this week, I think it took the promoted sides till the end of September to get a win.
That's right. Yeah.
In the Premier League last year. We've already got one off the mark, so we're ahead of the curve, as are Sunderland. But if they picked up 2 points in the next 2 games, a point in each match, that'd be a phenomenal start for Leeds. But also, even 1 point, I believe, in the next 2 is a strong output for Leeds in those opening 3 games to come out with 4 points. Where's your head at with that?
Yeah, look, as I kind of said at the top of the show, these aren't the kind of games that will decide where Leeds United finish this season. The games are the likes of your Burnleys, your Sunderlands, your Evertons, your Wolves, your Brentfords, your West Hams, basically that sort of section of clubs in the Premier League. That if we can go there and get a point, I think that's a brilliant result. Our record in the Premier League at Arsenal, whether it be at the Emirates or whether it'll be at Highbury, is poor. I think we've won 3. I'm trying to work this off the top of my head. We've won 3 and 15 in the Premier League at Arsenal. 94, 95, Phil Matinga scored 2. 2000, 2001, when Leeds had Lee Bowyer and Danny Mills sent off and won 2-1, Ian Hart and Mark Viduka. And then 2002, 2003, the famous day, May the 4th, 2003, Leeds won 3-2 and stayed in the Premier League and handed the title to Man United. So there are 3 wins in there. We've never won at the Emirates. I think it's 1 draw, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head. 1 draw in 10-11 in the FA Cup, then a defeat in 11-12, then an FA Cup defeat in 19-20, then a League Cup defeat in 21-22, plus the 3 defeats in the league at the Emirates. So it's not a great record. It's a very tough place to go. They're expected to be up there this season, challenging for honours. I thought they did well. I thought they defended very well against Man United at Old Trafford. I thought they had 10 men behind the ball at times and defended quite heroically at Old Trafford, and being really honest with you. And it'll be a very tough game. And as I say, this is a game where, even me being Mr. Positive, I think if Leeds can get a point out of this game, I think it'd be a fantastic result.
I don't think we're going to see the thumpings we've seen in the Premier League in previous seasons we've been there. But as you say, it's not been great stomping against Arsenal. We've lost 14 in a row against Arsenal. 14.
When you put it like that,
yeah, unbeaten. Sorry, unbeaten in the Arsenal unbeaten in the last 14 against Leeds.
Right.
We did get 2 draws in there as well. So there is points to prove for this Leeds side. As I say, it's not the same as it was before. Stats, any statistics or any major stats coming into this game? People.
Well, interestingly, I won a couple that I did pull out. Lucas Nemecha, that he scored on Monday night, is now the 498th different Leeds player to score for Leeds United. So if we were to score 2 goals, say for Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Sean Longstaff was to find the back of the net on Saturday evening, that will take us to 500 different goal scorers in our history. The last time we won at Arsenal was, as I say, May the 4th, 2003. They were wearing their blue and yellow kit, the Strongbow kit. So it'd be interesting to see what kit they will wear on. So I'd assume they'll wear that kit. As well, as mentioned, no victories ever in the Emirates, and our record in London in the Premier League has left a lot to be desired down the years. So yeah, it'd be nice to again break a few records. Prediction-wise, I'm going to sit on the fence for this. I'm actually going to go 0-0. I think Leeds will probably put 10 men behind the ball here, and that will frustrate Arsenal. They might have 1 or 2 chances, and Perry will have a really, really good game and keep a clean sheet. We've not kept a clean sheet away at Arsenal since the start of the end of February 1993. So there's a start for you.
No clean sheet in the last 14 games against Arsenal. There you go. And also the London one as well. For those who want the detail on the London one, Leeds have lost 23 of their last 30 away league games in London. We did win 4 and draw 3.
We did.
But 7 in a row defeats in the Premier League away from home in London. So it's never been great for Leeds, but let's just, again, as I keep saying, it's a different side, it's a different club, and we'll see how we get on. But if we were to walk away from the Emirates after shithousing a 0-0 or a 1-1, I think everybody would be very happy with that. But the performance will be important. I think Leeds have been building this side on defensive solidity. We'll see if that can hold off Arsenal. I wasn't overly impressed with Arsenal against Manchester United, but we'll see how they get on against us. Right, I'm gonna go with you, Stats. I'm gonna go for a 0-0. I'm going to go with a 0-0 and see if we can get a point in this one. Try and keep it positive. Folks, let us know down below in the comments your thoughts on this one and if you think it will, what the result will be, sorry. And then we'll see where we go for Newcastle. And then we've got the cup match and we're Vamanos for an international break, which is, is the cup game between Arsenal and Newcastle or the other way around?
Yes, cup game on Tuesday. This coming
Tuesday
Tuesday.
night. So
Yes.
We'll have a covering that. We'll be covering that game as well over on Big Up as well. So yeah, I'll confirm the Big Up situation as well. But if you do want to join us for watch alongs, I just do a bit of commentating on the game and have a bit of a laugh with everybody in the chat. You can go to bigup.com, type in the Leeds View, and you'll find us there. It's free to join, and there's no adverts over there as well. So nice little environment to have a bit of company if you want some while you're watching the match. Folks, that'll be it for us today. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for watching us. Stats, thanks for joining me today as well. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for Leeds news, and then we will be into the weekends for the action as well. So enjoy yourselves, folks. Talk